We are not just the leaders of tomorrow or the change makers of tomorrow. We are the leaders of today. We are the change makers of today. We are coming up with the solutions that will solve this crisis. We will be the generation to change the fate of the planet because we are tired of hearing the same discussions about the solutions we already have.
Today, I want to talk about the climate crisis being a generational injustice. When we talk about the impacts of the climate crisis on future generations, we speak on them as if those generations were not here, but we are present. By 2050, I will be 48 years old. And when I look out of the window, I will see the world you are negotiating right now.
Also, when we have young people in power, it shows that this isn't just an old person issue, this isn't just a young person issue, but it's intergenerational discussion. And we have to create policies that not only prioritize the past, but also prepares us for the future most adequately, not just in the sense of technology, but in the sense of equity. Because there's an Native American proverb that says that we don't inherit the earth from our ancestors, but we borrow it from our children. And when we are asking to borrow it, we have to consult young people. We have to say, hey, what is the future that you're going to go live into? What do you want from it? And really what we want is the same access to clean air and clean water and that promised land that Dr. King advocated for. That promised land doesn't just go to racial injustice, it goes to the very foundation of how we create policies.
My name is Vanessa Nakate, and I live in Kampala, Uganda, a country that has one of the fastest changing climates in the world. For many of us, reducing and avoiding is no longer enough. You cannot adapt to lost cultures. You cannot adapt to lost traditions. You cannot adapt to lost history. You cannot adapt to starvation. And you cannot adapt to extinction. The climate crisis is pushing many communities beyond their ability to adapt.
My name is Shreya and I am from Nepal. Nepal is a mountainous country and a least developed country which has very limited adaptive capacity. Though we try our best to adapt to the impacts of climate change, there are disasters, climate-induced disasters that we cannot adapt nor mitigate. So I feel hopeful that we should unite together and do everything possible that we can to pressure the world leaders for ambitious action and also to work ourselves with the community members to mitigate and also to support them to adapt to the impacts of climate change.
I'm Arshak. I'm from Moscow, Russia. When I started my protest, I was just alone. I was just standing on the square with my poster. Even if you're alone, you can make a difference, like Greta did, like other activists did. Without climate justice, it will be impossible to change the situation on the needed scale, I think.
So my message to world leaders is the fact that we, the climate action, can't wait for 2050 or thereabouts to act on the climate change crisis. And also commitment and agreement made at COP26 and various COP shouldn't just end there. We should try to push for it to become a reality in our various home countries, because that is going to depend on how successful the COPs looks like, and also to keep ambitions in short term so as to meet up with the race against the climate change crisis so that we can all win together for the people and the planet.
As I was saying, I think one of my main demands as a collective, as a movement, is talking about financing, because the countries of the global north that are the most responsible for the climate crisis has an obligation to finance not only the just transition of the global south, but also adaptation.
I I am Mitzi Janelle Tan, a climate justice activist from the Philippines, and midway through this UN Climate Summit, I'm asking world leaders to actually make decisions and to act. We need those drastic carbon dioxide emission cuts and ways to actually measure all these pledges that you've been having, such as annual carbon budgets, and we need the reparations and the climate finance from the global north to the global south so that our countries can adapt and manage the loss and damages that we're already experiencing.
Hi, I'm Benita Davis from Guyana, South America. So what I would like to say to world leaders is that, you're here today at COP and you're making these lofty promises, but we hope that when you get back home, you actually have clear set out strategies or indicators as to how you intend to achieve these things. So I really and truly hope that world leaders understand how critical it is to address and mitigate climate change and are determined or motivated to doing the work and getting it done.